Hi, YouTube. It's me, Angela. We are here to do a soul guidance reading here on um, those times when we feel powerless, when our souls feel depleted, when we've lost touch with our soul and we're embroiled in, the daily world and the things that are happening around us. Um, yeah, I pulled Soul Lost. This is the very first card of the reading. And it is asking us to pay attention where in our being that because of maybe old traumas or old, conflict that are the core of us has been sort of shaken up. Something that could be a huge trauma, a huge traumatic experience, a big loss, or a series of little difficult, traumatic experiences, but they add up and they start to collect and creates a full disconnection of our soul um, from our human being, right? We end up disconnecting. So this is going to be a journey of reconnecting when we feel some soul loss, when we feel I'm not quite myself, or I'm really out of touch with what's right for me, and everyone around me is influencing what I feel, and I'm not really tuned in to what's right for me. Um, yeah, so we're going to go on a journey of reconnection. First, we're going to look at the tarot cards that got associated with this card of loss, of soul loss. This is not, remember, just the losing of something in our experience, but the actual disconnection of our awareness of the soul of who we are. And really what it is our love. Our heart center, the core of who we are, is usually going to always go back to love and the heart space. So the first one I pulled that goes with this soul loss card is suppression. I mean, how intense is that? This is trying to hold it all together, holding things down. Um, even as you may try to manage traumatic events or disconnections that happen, you're within you, you're holding back some energy. You're trying to manage the energy instead of allowing the energy to flow up and through you, which is what energy wants. It wants movement. And when we hold it down and try to hold it in place or keep it from ourselves or keep it from others, that's when we have some trouble. That's when we have like backed up energy and not a clear direction how to get out of it. So along with that, I pulled this mental energy of schizophrenia. This is really just indecisiveness. This is, okay, here I am at a loss. Here I am feeling emptied out, completely depleted. What do I do? I don't know what to do about it. If I just try to hold everything in place, maybe it'll all go away, right? And our minds are saying we have to do something, we have to take action. And if you see this figure here is caught between two ledges, the hands are hanging on to one and the feet to the other, and just completely paralyzed with fear. I don't know what to do. If I let go of my hands, I'll go tumbling. If I let go of my feet, the same will happen. And truly, the guidance here is, unless you want this suppressive energy to really start to take over and get you so locked up that you don't recognize yourself anymore, the guidance is to let go of both, right? Like we said, let that energy flow. It needs to move. So that is our starting point here. That's where we are. That's our vantage point from, when I get into this space, when I get into this space of disconnection and such a place of not being in touch with my needs and my wants and what I know and what I love, and just trying to maybe outwardly perform for others or keep others fulfilled, and that's leaving an emptiness within. We're going to address that. So love it, because where it takes you with the suppression card is nowhere good, right? So, what is the first thing we want to do? Well, first of all, I believe in any of these situations where we're feeling stuck or we're feeling not a lot of movement, the first place we go is to the heart, right? Our heart um, guided energies like forgiveness and love and compassion, gratitude are always the way to get it moving again. Get in touch with your heart. And in this case, too, I pulled this card called When the Ones You Need Fly Close. This is your soul family. This is your positive energy community that you may be connected to. This is it being assured that the help comes when you need it. And for in this case, with the recognizing that soul loss, we turn to gratitude for what we have, your soul family. I'm grateful for those who make me feel safe and seen. And this is an important distinction from blood family, which a lot of those members maybe in, I think a couple weeks back, I tapped into the soul family idea concept. And here we are again, flushing that out. So this is a message that keeps coming through, it seems. And, you know, some of your blood related family members are in your soul family, and you get to enhance it with other like souls, other people that attract to you and you're attracted to, that help you feel safe, protected, and seen and heard. So from the soul loss energy of I'm so depleted, I don't know what to do, it's really taking me nowhere, I don't know where, we immediately turn to the space of gratitude for those around us, that hold our hearts, that hold our energy. And then the Zen cards I got to go with that, with your soul family, is participation. This is complete, energetic, gathering of the energy of those actual physical people in your soul family, and also of spirit and the divine energy that comes through to keep you feeling safe and held. So rely on others is what this is saying. Rely on others, not just other humans, but other energies that may come through to sort of revitalize that disconnection and reconnect it. Then I also got trust to go with that. And it's, when the ones you need fly close. And then in this trust card, she's flying through the air alone, but she's, in my imagination, she's seeking that soul family. She's looking for the rest that will be flying with her, knowing that, I could fall at any given time, but I'm trusting that I won't, right? Just soaring without, there's an expansive feeling to this card that is already on your way from this depleted energy. So finding that trust comes through the gratitude of those around you, your soul family. Then we go back, we go a little deeper, and we go within a little deeper. I got the Guardians of the Land from the Sacred Forest deck that I love. And this is protection. This is your reassuredness between your intuition or your inner being, your higher self, and you, that you're safe, you're cherished, you're protected, you're loved. Whether or not that's showing up in your life right now is another thing, but it is always there. And the first place to look is within your soul, because that's where your primary supportive energy comes from. And it's also asking us not to concern ourselves with outside forces, other people's judgment, but to stay protected within your own energy field. This is your self-protection, your own gathering of, your reconnection to your soul, and knowing that if you stay within your protected energy field, you really can never go wrong, because then you're moving through clarity of intuition, of the nudges that you feel within your soul. There's like a louder connection, sort of like telephonically, between you and your inner being, that will always talk to you if you're quiet enough to listen. And then it also, in this card, asks that you spend time with those who uplift you, as opposed to who drain your energy. And that brings us back to that, the ones you need fly close. Those who drain your energy, doesn't mean you push them away forever, but in times of sort of recalibrating your soul connection to yourself, those who drain your energy are a distraction from the work you're doing, right? If I'm feeling completely depleted and disconnected, and there's no thread between this person who's up, waking up every day and going out and doing things, and I don't have that connection to my inner being, that's the first order of business, right? It's not fixing the things on the outside. It's going within and finding that thread again and connecting it. So, but as a helper and as a reinforcement, once you've gathered into your own energy field, then reaching out to your soul family, those who uplift you and feed your energy, it's an important step as well. With this protection card, remember we talked about protecting your own energy field, I pulled aloneness, not loneliness, not the absence of others, but the presence of yourself. And I love how that comes right here, because the guidance in this protection card is, pull it all in and get into your own energy field. You alone have what it takes to do this recalibration and reset and realign and prepare to move forward. But if you're still looking to outside forces and energies to fix things, there will be a little delay, because that's not the shortcut. The shortcut is staying in tune and firming up those threads of connection between your persona and your soul. And then with that as well, I got patience, because what would a reading be without it asking us to calm down? It's all playing out the way it's supposed to, right? One of my favorite sayings is, I'm on my way to knowing. I'm on my way to realignment. I'm on my way to that strong connection with my inner being. Patience with yourself, patience with the universe, patience with others. As we know that, the pregnant woman is not going to just say, oh, I'm going to be pregnant forever. She knows the change is coming. She knows the birth is coming, and can just rest in this very moment as it prepares to develop. So this is kind of how we want to treat all of our energy, all of our goals, that, just by making one move, one shift, we're on our way to the shift, right? We're on our way to, in this case, that reconnection. Then I pulled this Chakravartin. This is the wheel of law. It's a Hindu symbol, and it symbolizes, completeness, unobstructed movement. If you consider a wheel, and that at the hub, the core of it, that is your perfect self. That is where all your love rests, right? That is the your truth, right there at the core. And then the spokes are your characteristics and the choices you make and the way you move in this world. And then the outer rim is your worldly form, is the way you interact with others. It's the way others see you. It's the taking action on the choices you make. And what we want to do is we want to consider how, the center here of this wheel is what holds all the rest of it together. In a wheel, you need that center core to hold the spokes in place, to, hold the, so this is the focus, is that center of your being. And this is what was disconnected in that soul loss energy. So we want to maybe even in a meditation, imagine your energy as being a wheel, the Chakravartin, the wheel of law. And that at the very core center is where all the juice is, right? Where all the magic is. And everything emanates from that. But holding that center in place is the key to being able to proceed forward. The truth of who you are, right? That's your soul. And when you're feeling disconnected from it, or that energy has been depleted from you, that's hard to feel that, I can get it all back together. But I love this imagery of the wheel. Then I pulled another wheel, the wheel of change. And this is in that Zen Tarot deck. And we've seen this one before, how we've talked about how being on the outer rim of this spinning, always constant spinning wheel of change can be dizzying. If we're grasping to one aspect of it, or one memory, or one past way that things used to be, we're going to get dizzy. We're going to spin and fly the hell off of it. But if we rest in the center there and we get into that core, the change that's always there, that's always happening, is less dizzying, right? And if we align ourselves with being, the truth of us being at that core, oh, it makes everything just, all the change that's going to happen, that will inevitably happen, is almost, it becomes a point where you choose which part, where you want to like go out to the edge and play around. But for the most part, if you're aligned and firm at the core, those spinny changes don't really affect you as much. And along with that, I got turning in. So yeah, we've had this one before too, to be able to really be in and remember, this one has the water, which represents her emotions, the depth of who she is, and she's completely attuned to it and unbothered by the state of, the hauntings that are going on in her mind. Unbothered. It's that stuff is always going to be occurring, right? Those haunting figures, the thoughts, the worries, the what ifs, the, concerns of others, that's always there. But if you have a strong core alignment within your own being, coming off of this realization that, oh, everything's pretty shaky in there. Everything's shaken up. And I regain it by tuning in, by turning in. And then what we get with the change card that's here, we get the next oracle, which is heart opening. Now you're seeing the change. Now you're feeling the reconnection of your soul. Remember, we said earlier, it's all generated from your heart space. That's forgiveness, that's compassion, self-compassion, love for others, just being in the energy of love at all times, as many times as you can, right? We're human. We can't just hold in one place. Things happen, but to have an awareness of how the soul loss affected your heart, and how the reaching out to your soul family and finding that support helped to sort of reinvigorate and shore up the energies that are within you. And then really, really visualizing how your inner being is the key. That's what's holding all of it together. That allows for that heart opening to begin. And now you start to reach out for others. Now I pulled sharing with that. Now you get to connect again, because your soul is repaired, or, held together again, or actually connected in that way to your persona, the human being that you show up in this world. You get to reconnect that and then share your love with others. Your heart opens up and you let others know that you're about love, and you give of yourself more freely. It's not the kind of giving that depletes your soul, because you're coming from this aligned place. And then the final card in this spread I pulled is celebration. That's great, because, after all that, suppression, fear and schizophrenia, and I don't know if I can, you did it, right? You were able to do it. And it really just takes backing off a little bit and reconnecting with yourself. Trying to keep the chatter in your mind a little quiet while you work on this reconnection, because it's very easy to listen to your, oh, but what about, if I reconnect with my soul and maybe spend just time with myself and try to work this through, then others are going to not approve, or they want more of my time, or whatever that is. That's the depleting energy that we talked about, spending less time with those that are draining our energy, just in the temporary interim while we're rebuilding, right? While we're reconnecting, is important to focus on. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple of cards just to give us a little overview. I'm pulling from 2 decks, this Messages from the Light and Buddha Wisdom, the Divine Feminine, which I love that too. Okay, so, whoops, oh, a whole bunch fell. I'm not going to grab those. Okay. So I got surrender. This is giving. This is not giving up or giving in. It's just standing with an aligned strength and allowing. This surrender, it has the light coming through the crown chakra. It's just allowing for the divine and the universal life force that's always there to guide us, to let us take our path forward after we've aligned, right? Then I got forgiveness. We just talked about this, how the heart, that heart space energy is really important. Forgiveness is unburdening those things that weigh heavily on your heart so that you can move more freely, right? So that you can move like this wheel of the Chakravartin. You can be in constant fluidity and flow with the universe. And then from the Buddha Wisdom deck, I pulled, there's nothing better that you can give to a person than to be present with them. And that brings us back to our soul family vibration, the full presence and engagement. And remember, this is from that aligned space. It's easier to give and move your energy and even give your energy away when you're coming from that alignment. Okay. All right. I think that's it for now. I love you guys, and I will see you next week.